Yeah, come in. Clint.
Larry? Larry, I need some straight answers about Vicky. I've done some checking, and I know that this hospital uses the Harvard criteria for determining clinical death.
Oh, we haven't reached that point yet, Clint. Look, there is still some evidence of brain activity. Granted, it's decreasing gradually, but she's still fighting. She's fighting with every ounce of determination she's shown throughout her life. And as long as she fights, we're going to treat her aggressively.
Thanks, Larry. That's all I need to know. You will be honest with me if there's any change.
What have I done?
It's what you haven't done.
Hey, watch your tone of voice, okay? This is a nice lady you're talking to.
This nice lady did not die on Earth. Virgil, perhaps you're not up to this task after all.
Her heart stopped, her spirit rose, I grabbed it, we ran.
Ah, too soon it seems. The doctors managed to revive her.
I'd say by the look of the numbers on the monitors, you're clinging to life by a hair, Vicky.
Clinging indeed.
So I'm alive. I haven't left my children behind after all. Not entirely. Captain, what does this mean?
It means our progress has been slowed. It means that these many souls who are traveling with you have been unduly detained. You are being unduly stubborn.
It's in her genes, sir. The entire Lord family is unduly stubborn.
You must give up, Victoria. You must let go of life on Earth. You are no longer in control of your destiny. You never were. Virgil, I want you and the others to convince her of this, and I expect you to do it immediately before we get too far off schedule.
It reminds me of a bus driver in my old neighborhood.
I'm so confused. If I'm not dead, how can I be here? Is this a joke? 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 The cosmic joke you've always wondered about? Oh, no, indeed, young lady. This is very serious. This is gross insubordination. Oh, would somebody please talk straight to me and use facts and not symbols?
Your will to live is messing up their bus schedule. How's that?
What if I want off their bus? Vicky.
Your father showed you eternity. I want you to remember that light. Focus on it. Remember the peace that you felt a few moments ago, and you will understand that what you're clinging to isn't worth the struggle.
But I thought that I had stopped fighting. I thought there was no question but that I was dead. And now finding out that I'm not has infused me with energy.
No. The more energy you have, the less power there is for the star. You can't let your fight immobilize us.
Immobilize? Wait a minute. This is a conspiracy, isn't it? I'm only being given bits of information instead of the whole truth. Do I have the power to return to life?
What if it's my last half hour on Earth?
Vicky, please.
I don't know why anybody doesn't want me to talk about this.
Because it hurts, that's why. Besides, why tempt fate?
My survival is not going to hinge on my discussion of it, you know.
I'd just rather think about you in the recovery room, coming out of the anesthetic.
When I have the world's largest headache, huh?
And opening up those beautiful blue eyes, looking at me and saying, "Hi, son."
And then what?
That's going to depend on your memory, isn't it?
Oh, Tom. You think I'm going to be appalled by my former feelings for you, and you think I'm not going to be able to look you in the eye. But I think I'm still going to want to be with you.
Tom,
Pete,
look, I know how tough this is.
I'll be okay.
Have you heard from Larry? Has there been any change?
No, Pete, but we just can't give up on Vicky. She's got too much to live for, right?
Here you go.
How'd you know I needed these telephone logs?
Well, you mumbled something about needing them this morning, so I tracked them down for you.
And I suppose you think you deserve a raise now.
Yeah, but a drink after work will do.
All right, you got it. Fact is, if these help me solve the Johnson case, I'll even buy you dinner.
They will, and I accept. Hello.
Hello, Dorian.
Mom, I thought you left for Washington.
Oh, my plans keep changing. At any rate, it gives me a chance to say another goodbye to you and to John. I wonder, honey, if you wouldn't mind taking a coffee break. I want to say my goodbye to John privately.
Well, I have to type up some notes for him. He needs them first thing in the morning for court.
Obviously, Cassie has learned her dedication to work from her mother. But I don't think we can improve on last night's farewell anyway.
Can I will myself back to life? Answer me. It's not entirely up to you, my dear. Obviously, or I wouldn't have gotten this close to death.
Victoria, you're beginning to sound righteous, and I should know that tone, having it most of my days.
Still does. The point is, Vicky, we all left loved ones behind.
But my death was untimely and a mistake. I mean, look, isn't the fact that I'm there on those machines any kind of proof? It proves your stubbornness. And my love for my children, for those who need me.
Vicky, even your children will survive without you. Look at Sammy.
I don't know how to argue with you, but I don't know how to give up either.
Vicky, you've got to surrender. That's what you haven't done. Not here and not on the operating table.
Forget everything I pounded into you about responsibility and just let go.
Let go of life?
Vicky, let me take you back to the window. We'll look at the light, and we'll talk.
You all look so distressed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cause you any trouble, but what you're asking me to do is...
So foreign? We understand that.
Time for the heavy artillery.
Father, what a way to put it. It's time for a bigger dose of love than we're able to give.
Yeah, a dose that she'll succumb to.
Well, what are you waiting for, Virgil?
Just wondering, that's all. Even if we play our trump card, will we get what we expect?
Yes, we did have a lovely farewell, didn't we? I guess I'll just have to settle for that, won't I? You, I want you to call Herb if you need anything, all right?
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Yes, just be a good girl. Here is the number of my hotel in Washington.
Oh, okay. I'll give you a call if there's any change in Vicky's condition.
I want you to call me no matter what. Every night I want to talk to you.
All right. You got it.
Oh, Johnny, I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too, sweetie.
How about you get on a plane, fly to Washington on Friday, spend the weekend with me?
Well, I'll do the best that I can do.
I'll never leave if you keep kissing me that way. And I do have to go. Bye-bye.
Bye.
How's Vicky?
No change.
Have you seen her?
Not yet.
I left the hospital. I didn't want to impose on your grief.
Tom, there's something I want you to know. For what it's worth, all my prayers are for Vicky.
Yeah.
Even if she chooses to spend the rest of her life with you. I mean, if that's her decision, then I'll find a way to handle it. The only really important thing is that God permits her to live.
I understand now why she loves you so much. And why my brother chose you to take his place.
It all looks so cold and distant, and yet it makes me feel warm all over.
Vicky, may I join you?
Oh, yes, please, Mary, and help me. Tony's trying and I'm trying, but we're still at the same speed, aren't we? Which obviously means that those monitors down in Landview must still show something.
We all suffer, Vicky, in different ways. And that individual suffering, whatever it is taken away.
I know. You did suffer terribly. And so did my Joe. Joe. Wait, I've been so overwhelmed by all of this, I never even... Where is Joe? Surely he would be a part of this. Please, please, tell me where Joe is.
It's what they call making an entrance, my sweetheart.
Entertainment night.
What's so funny?
Well, if Joey becomes a well-known artist one day, you and I will be famous.
How do you figure that?
Well, I think this is supposed to be us.
Look at that. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Only how come you're smiling and I'm not?
Well, I think he thinks you're the serious type.
No, I got a different theory about that. I think that little fella's got a crush on you, ma'am.
Cord?
I'm serious. You know, when I was his age, I had a crush on this woman who used to sell stamps over at the post office. I thought she was the most beautiful woman in all of Texas. In the whole world, maybe. But, I mean, this is like way before I ever met you.
Cord, where are the boys?
They're in the study with Asa. Hey, Clint, wait a second. What's going on? How'd the operation go?
Is Vicky all right?
She's in ICU. On a life support system.
Joe. Joe. Oh, my God. My Joe. Suddenly, all is right with my world. Oh, my darling. Does this mean that if you dream something long enough, it does come true? I'm not dreaming, am I? No, obviously not. Promise me. Promise me you will never, ever let me go again.
If that's what you want, sweetheart. Oh, Vicky, I love you so.
Oh, but I do love you.
Samuel Sheldon speaking.
This is Elizabeth Sanders.
Well, Mrs. Sanders, I've been waiting for your call.
I have what you've demanded of me.
Yeah, well, you can always trust a Sanders, and you can always trust a Squeak Sheldon, too. Now, you meet me at the,
No. You will come to my house immediately. You'll get your payment here.
All right, Mrs. Sanders. I'll be right there. All right, Jamie boy. You said your little old granny would do anything for that formula, and you were right on the nose.
I'm so glad I had a few minutes with the others first. It would have been too much for me. All of them. And you.
How is it possible? You're more beautiful than you were the day we parted.
Am I? Do you really think so?
Well, I don't know. I'll need a couple of million years to think about it.
What a scene. My best pal reunited with his best gal.
No questions now, eh? Victoria will never want to leave Joe's side.
I miss Rafe. And Larry.
Pat, I wouldn't mind putting my arms around Wanda.
Now. Let's not get all sentimental. Those people have things to accomplish yet on Earth. I hope Joe hurries Victoria into surrendering soon. The captain did say he wanted it accomplished immediately. I'll go tell the captain that things will be back on schedule shortly. I hope.
Oh, Joe, I thought about you so much before my operation.
Becky, I'm so glad you're beyond pain now. I felt so upset about the suffering you had to go through since I left you.
Pain and sorrow. They all seem light years away now. Oh, that's because they are light years away, right? Am I catching on?
I think so.
It's all okay now, isn't it? I mean, being with you and knowing that I have landed in a far, far better place, I suspect I can simply let go now, and then our journey won't be slowed down anymore. As long as I can be with you, darling, I'll stay.
If that's what you truly want. If you truly feel that way.
There it is again, that hint that I can somehow control things. Darling, I am concerned about the children, but the others, they were all acting as if that was wrong, as if I should understand that leaving them is just fine.
Wonderful boys Kevin and Joey have turned out to be, huh?
Oh, you would be so proud of them.
Oh, I am proud of them. And of you and Clint, the way you brought them up. They seem to have been shielded from the adversity that you and Clint have had to fight your way through.
Well, pretty much so, yes. But now, darling, they've never had to face death before, not so close to home anyway. I mean, you know that Kevin was just a baby when you died. It seems so unfair now.
I know, it seems that way to me sometimes, even though I know that worldly death is merely a transition to this life here. But you haven't mentioned anything about leaving Clint behind. About his suffering at having lost you.
Well, that's because the children come first in my heart. I know that Clint will suffer. And so, Joe, do you know that you have a twin brother? Do you know about Tom?
Yeah. Yes, Tom has been very supportive in your life.
Mm-hmm.
As a brother-in-law. And in the children's lives as an uncle.
But he became more than that. Are you aware?
Yes. Yes, Vicky, I'm aware of the whole sorry mess. I must say I'm a little disappointed that you allowed what happened to happen.
What, do you mean because I came to care for him so much?
At the expense of your love for your husband, yes.
Joe, darling, you don't know the facts. Clint turned on me. He lost faith in me. He accused me of lying to him and cheating on him, and one day in a jealous rage
Yes,
he
I
beat
know,
Tom.
and you abruptly lost your memory.
My memory? My memory was supposed to come back after the operation, and obviously that didn't happen.
Becky, no, honey. You don't have a memory problem. Not here.
Then why don't...
Concentrate. Concentrate.
Something is wrong, Joe. I can't. Everything's still a blank.
And how's it going here? Ready to be a full member of our happy family,
Well,
Victoria?
I'll tell you something, Virgil. You know, it's more a question of will that Vicky's holding on down there, you know that? I I believe it is a question of conscience as well.
Ah, for crying out loud, Joe. Earthly conscience.
Well, now, she still is part of the earth, isn't she? Come on, sweetheart, we're going to have to show you a few home movies.
No, wait. Is this really necessary?
Well, you can't expect her to make the decision to let go until she knows really what she's leaving, now can you, huh? Now, do your thing, will you please, Virgil?
Joe, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but, we're going to have to show you some of the memories that have been erased.
So Dr. Graham took care of the aneurysm, and that's when her heart stopped, right?
Yeah.
But they brought her back to life, Clint. Now, come on, that's a good sign.
She's hanging on by a thread cord.
Yeah, but
The machines are keeping her alive.
But there's still a chance. There's some hope.
The longer she remains in a coma, the less chance she's got of pulling out of it. You know, I stood in that ICU room, holding onto her hand. And you know, one minute I could feel her slipping away, and the next I could feel her fighting like hell to stay alive.
You know, Clint, I read an article in a magazine about this mother whose son was in a coma. They didn't give the kid much hope, but she sat there and she held his hand, she read to him, she talked to him, and the kid came back.
Well, that's what I intend to do, too, but I just felt that I had to come home and talk to the kids and prepare them for, you know, the possibility that... How the hell do you explain to kids that age that their mama might not be coming home?
Hey, you saw your car outside.
Oh, hey, guys, I was just looking for you.
How's Mom? Is the operation over? Is she okay?
All set, Joe.
Thank you, Virgil. Vicki, do you have any remembrance of the first time you met Clint? He came in from Arizona. We were out drinking and talking about him becoming the editor of the Banner. We got in late. You were angry because you were worried.
Just who are you?
Please.
Joe, do you have any idea how long I have been worrying about you?
Riley, I think this about clinches it. If this is the other half of Lord Enterprise.
Oh, just a minute, now, sweetheart. You're giving the gentleman the wrong impression of our relationship. Mr. Buchanan is going to be the managing editor of the Banner.
Now, ma'am, I did not say I was going to become the next editor of the Banner.
Joe, what is going on here?
Yeah, but you're going to say, pal, you can bet your big cowboy boots on that, partner.
We didn't get off to a very good start.